Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy TWiZ, and today I'm going to show you how to get your audio ready to be sent off to get mixed. I got a lot of people who have been asking me, man, I can record everything myself, but I just want to get it to my audio engineer. How do I do that in Logic Pro? And this is the correct way to how to do it. So right now I have my project open. This is actually the journey, a song me and Jason Dow had did at the beginning of the year, man. Make sure you check it out. It's a really dope song. But right now I'm gonna just show you how to really organize your thing. So that way, if you're sending the session, to somebody who has Logic, how to send it. And just if you have a totally different program that somebody's using it. So say for instance, you're recording inside Logic Pro 10, and whoever's going to mix it, they're going to mix it in either Studio One or Pro Tools. I'll show you how to get that straight. So first, I'm going to show you how to send it to somebody else who may have Logic Pro. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that there are no effects on anything. So I mix this personally. That's why you see a lot of effects on here already. But if I was getting ready to send it to somebody and they're going to do the mixing and everything, you're going to want to make sure everything is regular. So if you already have your plugins on it, you kind of know how I want to sound. You want to bounce this out, of course, as a reference track of how you want to sound, or how you want it to sound. So if I wanted them to hear this and be like, hey, I want you to hear how it sounds, with effects and stuff. That's what I would do. So if you already done that already, let's just assume you already bounced it down a reference track. We're going to show you how to do it. Just sending a plain mix. So everything I got right here on these vocals, which that's just to the bus. I'm just going to reset that back to put it output, stereo output if you want to. It's up to you. It's no worries. It's still a mono track, so you're good. All right. So you got that. Take my buses off. You want it to be completely naked. Turn that off. You want to make sure all the pans are set straight. You want to make sure there's no volume change. Everything needs to be set to 0. 0 pan, 0 volume, 0 sends. Nothing needs to be on here. All right. Same thing for the rest of these. That's pan. A quick way to make sure that this is back to 0 is hold down Option and just click, and it'll automatically take it to 0. Same thing with volume. Option, hold down Option and click, and boom, that takes it right back to 0. Again, put that back to stereo output. That way it's right there. Same thing for all this. Another way you could possibly do this is you could open up your mixer window, and the default setting is X. So say for instance, you just want all of those to be back to normal. You could just select all of those at the bottom and just hold down Option and just click, and they automatically go back up. Same thing for this, boom. Same thing for this, boom. And then same thing for that, boom. And that too. And that's an easier way that you could do it. You could highlight all of them. So I just wanted to show you both ways, so that way you can know how to do both ways. All right. So now that all these channels are basically regular, what you want to do now is you want to make sure you label each track. So when you click on this is really just clicking on the track. And when I change this, so let's just say this was, let's see whose verse this is. I think this is Jason's. Yeah, so this is Jason's. So this is his lead track. So we can go ahead and just double click right here to change the text. Jason main. All right. So if you notice, it changed here. It also changed up here in the region inspection over here. And it also changed down here. OK, so that lets me know that this channel strip is Jason's main. Now, if you were bouncing this down for somebody else to do it, what you want to do is first you would highlight this. You select that, and then you want to make sure you get your glue tool, and you want to glue everything together. So you want to make sure that's just one. Yes, yep. You want to get this non-contiguous audio regions require the creation of a new audio file. So that's what the glue thing is going to do. Is really just going to bring all those things together, and boom. Once you do that, it's going to be all one file, which is cool. And so what you want to do now is you want to click on that, and this region tab over here, it's telling us the name of that actual track. So we know that this is Jason main just from the actual track. But if we want to label the actual audio file right here, you want to come over here, double click that, and then you just change it. So that's Jason main. Boom. So now that's actually changed. So whoever is in Logic and they open this up, they know that this track is Jason main and this. And the reason why you do that is basically, say for instance, you're recording multiple things on the same track. So like podcasting and things of that nature, or even certain songs where you're all on the same track, everything's going to the same bus. You just have that on there. And it also lets you know too, because as you can see, a lot of this, if I'm just looking at this, I'm not going to know what this is. So you can label it like that. So once you have all of that labeled, you want to make sure your loop is to the parts that you want it. The reason why mine's is right here is because that's where I want to start at. And because the intro is a little bit longer, I could have just chopped that and then just slid everything over. So that way it's at the beginning of the song. It's no different. Same thing. The only thing difference is just I'm starting my song right here. I just took a quick route because I know what I'm doing. I don't have to slide everything. It's going to start right here and right there. So you want to make sure your loop is okay. Everything is good. Everything is listed right here. Again, you want to double check, bring in your mixer, make sure everything is good. And then you want to go ahead and just save it. You know, if you're just doing it for that, you want to go ahead and save it. Go ahead and save it to where it's at. You want to make sure it's in folder. You want to make sure your audio files are checked. You want to make sure if you have the whole tracked out session where you have the beats if it was done in Logic, you want to make sure that's checked, because the big issue with this is, say for instance, you are sending this to somebody else who has Logic Pro and they don't have the same sounds or same plugins that you have. This really just does a copy of it. So that way you can get that too. Same thing with Alchemy audio data, Ultra Beat samples, Space Designer impulse responses, and even if you're doing movie and include Apple Sound library content. Say for instance, they have a newer version of Logic or just a different version of Logic where they downloaded more Apple sounds and they don't have it, or you have it and they don't, and it just includes it in there. And you save it and they'll save it as a file just like this, and they'll have all the information in there for you. So all they have to do is really just click on the actual all they have to do is click on the Logic Pro file, and it'll open up and it'll have everything neat like this. So say for instance, it's with Pro Tools or anything like that. So what you're going to have to do now is you're going to have to hit solo and just make sure only that track is solo, because if you solo any other track, it's going to automatically convert it together and it's going to suck, because you're going to hear whatever two tracks you have soloed together is going to be done. So you solo it. And again, you want to make sure you leave the marker. Do not bring the loop to just right here to where it's at. So if you bring the loop right here and you just only do this, guess what? It's only going to bounce out just this, and it's not going to bounce it down in this place. It's just going to bounce it down as a regular WAV file, and you're going to have to line it back up, and that's going to be a no-no. So you want to make sure you just have your loop set to where it's at, leave it where it's at, and then bounce it down. Once you bounce it down, it's going to basically do the whole loop, and you're going to have just a bunch of WAV files right here to where it's nothing but just plain nothing. And then you'll see this, which is cool, because then you can just shrink it down and it'll still be in the place where it needs to be. So that make sure you do that for each and every track, and you want to bounce it down. So Command B, and I would say you bounce it down as a PCM and make sure you have a WAV or AIFF. So if I would say just go ahead and do WAV. So if they have a PC where they have their Pro Tools on or Studio One, just put it in WAV, and WAV does just as good. Make sure all your settings are set to good. Of course, offline, and it tells you your start is starting right there. My marker starts at 9, and it says it right here, and it ends at 66. So it's about 66 right here. So it's good. Normalize on everything. It tells you how much it's going to take up. It's not going to take up a lot. And so what you're going to do is you're just going to bounce it down. You're going to have to bounce down each one individually on solo. So when you're done with that, hit solo on this next track. And what I usually do is click on the track to make sure I know that this one track is selected. And you see it's highlighted in yellow right here to let me know. And this is highlighted like gray to let me know that everything's on this one track. So you want to bounce down each and every track individually. I wish there was a quicker way. I'm not sure if there's a quicker way, but if there is, let me know so I can spread the knowledge on. But I know I have to do individually. You do that one to each one, and then you just save it in a little folder or something like that to where it is like that. So I have clients that do that. My boy Grace and Mercy, he's good. He's good at this. And when he sends it, it looks like this. So that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like when it comes to that. And those are called stems, by the way. So you have your stems. So that is how you get your song ready for mix. And they'll take your project and we'll take it to the next level and we'll mix it. So like if you need anybody to mix your projects, make sure you holler at us. You know, submit a bid to TWiZ56ip@gmail.com. We make sure your music sounds A1 and official, and we mix our own stuff. You can check out our mixes there. You can check out some of our mixes on YouTube, Certified Banger 100 TV. You can also make sure you check it out on SoundCloud, you know, Certified Bangers. It's everywhere, man. And you can check out our playlist of songs we mix. We probably mix your favorite indie rapper, singer, artist, whatever, you know. We don't just do hip hop. We do any genre. So anything that you want mixed, we got you. So this is my first tutorial, man. I'm actually pretty stoked about it because it's going to be a lot more coming soon. And if you need a tutorial on something about Logic Pro, let me know. We're going to make sure we knock these things out, bro. So if you have anything else, let me know. Email me. Check out the description below, man. Thank you again for watching. It's your boy TWiZ. And I'm out. Certified.